Welcome to the 2025 General Election Meet the Candidate Interview Forum. My name is Lindsay Allen, and along with my colleagues Naomi Bouts, Javis Cornett, Hilo Hancock, and Tyrell Stevenson, we'll be your moderators for this year's Meet the Candidate series. This year's forum is presented by the Hagedon Media Group, Quicksilver Studios, and the Joint Public Policy Committee, which represents the Coeur d'Alene Regional, Hayden, Post Falls, and Rathdrum Chambers of Commerce, in partnership with the Coeur d'Alene Post Falls Press. Our Meet the Candidate series features a comprehensive lineup of local races, giving you the opportunity to hear directly from the individuals seeking to serve our communities. This year's interviews include candidates running for Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Hayden, and Rathdrum City Councils, Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls mayoral races, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, and Lakeland school boards. Each candidate will discuss their priorities, perspectives, and approach to the issues shaping North Idaho's future. Candidates will have 1 minute to introduce themselves, 2 minutes to answer each of 3 questions, and 1 minute for closing remarks. We hope this forum helps you cast an informed, confident vote in our upcoming elections.
And now we're going to turn to our Coeur d'Alene School Board, and we have tonight with us Thomas Sanner, and Thomas is running for Zone 4 on the Coeur d'Alene School Board. Thomas, why don't you take a moment and tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm a lifelong Idaho resident. I graduated from Post Falls High School in 1971. I've attended several trade school, and I have lots of trade certifications, different types of jobs that I've done over the years. And I just feel that I want to give back to the community and be a voice for the people who feel like they do not have a voice anymore through the public forum.
Great. Thank you. So we have a few questions for you. You'll have 2 minutes to answer each of these. And the first question that we have for you tonight is, what is your take on the use of public money for private schools and homeschoolers?
That's interesting. That's probably one of the reasons that I became interested in the school board position. Growing up in the Post Falls School District, which was an excellent public education system, the House Bill 93 that is going to give monies, I feel personally that it's going to bankrupt the public school system. There's lots of pros and cons on that, but I've researched it over the last year since it was implemented, 8 months, and I just feel that giving money to private schools that have no accountability for what the students are going to have to show for themselves is pretty important.
Thank you. So the next question we have for you tonight, Thomas, is what do you believe is the most critical area you see that needs improvement in education?
I'm going to probably say attendance. Attendance is where all the money comes from. Basically, students show up every day, the school gets paid, they learn, they achieve, they receive their diplomas. But if they're not there, and they're not the attendance, they're not, being there, they're not going to learn. So I feel attendance is one of the most important things that we need to address going forward.
And the final question we have for you is, as you probably know, some school districts in our area have gone to a 4-day school week. Do you support that? Why or why not?
Well, that's something I'm going to have to look a little more into. We tried growing up when I went to Post Falls, we tried split shifts, we tried various different things. But in this day and age, I believe that if a 4-day work week will work for parents, a lot of times parents have a hard time with childcare and different things like that. So it's kind of a subject that needs to be discussed and talked about openly with the public so that everybody has a clear idea of what the expectations are.
Great. Thank you. And now you'll have 60 seconds to give us your closing statement, what you want to tell voters.
Well, I would just like to have the opportunity to, like I said before, be a voice for the people who feel they don't have a voice and they're not being represented by the people who are currently in the position that the school board that I'm running against is offering.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time tonight, Thomas, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Allen. I am a local realtor with EXP. I wanted to get involved. I wanted to do more volunteering, but I never really knew where to start. Being involved with the chamber has exposed me to so many different people and causes and nonprofits and volunteer opportunities and leadership opportunities that I would never get anywhere else. If you have a heart for service and you're looking to get involved or you want to do something bigger than you need to be here at the chamber. Come down here, come to an event, get involved, get on a committee, and give back.
Our next candidate is Rick Rasmussen, who's running for Zone 1, Coeur d'Alene School Board. Rick, thank you for being here.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
So you're going to have 1 minute to give an introduction of yourself, and then I will ask you 3 questions. You'll have 2 minutes to respond, and then you'll have 1 minute to give a closing statement.
Sounds great. So I'm Rick Rasmussen, running for School District Board Trustee, Zone 1. I am a 60-year resident of the state of Idaho. I went through education K through 12 and through the Coeur d'Alene School District, and am married to my high school sweetheart who went through K-12 in Coeur d'Alene, and she just retired from teaching in the school district. Mom and dad are both retired teachers, and my brother currently works at Coeur d'Alene High School.
Thank you. So first question. What is your take on the use of public money for private schools and homeschoolers in our state?
I'm just a big fan of education. I think all different realms, homeschool, charter, everything. My biggest thing is I just think there needs to be an accountability no matter where it is. So if there's a testing standard or if there is you need to know to be a certain level to advance. I think that, education is great. We need it, and people learn differently. I think kids all learn differently. So I support all education, but if you're going to have it, I just think there needs to be accountability so that everybody is able to rise and get to the next level and to be able to be our future workforce, because I look at every student that is out there in our community as being potential extra, our future workforce. And so school is great. I think any way you can do it is great, but I really just think that accountability is the key to it, to make sure that all kids are prepared for that next step in life.
Okay, thank you. Second question, what is the most critical area you see that needs improvement in education?
I think the most critical area, I just kind of hit on it, is workforce development. I think we need to have the next round of employees. With the amount of people that are going out of the workforce and the amount of people coming into our workforce in our community, there's a big deficit. And with the housing cost where it is, where you're having to buy a $700,000 home at 7% interest, you're not getting a lot of new people moving here. You know, we have a silver tsunami. We've not added a new school in Kootenai County in over 5 years, but our growth has been over 20%. So there's a lot of, older retirees, which is great, but where's the workforce coming from? So I think the biggest deficit is how can we train, and not everybody's going to go on to 4-year schools or 2-year schools, could be trade schools, but how do we get that next level of students so that they are a future workforce, that they're working in healthcare, hospitality, all the different aspects we have. How can we train them? How can we make them prepared? How can we, not just the education side, but the soft skills? How does it being on a team and how dealing with, failure, and how do we have them ready? So I see workforce development as one of the top concerns of mine. And that's what I'd like to try to help out any way I can. I'm pro kids, pro education, but I look at each student as, future workforce and how they're going to help our community to continue to strive and be a great community like it is now. Thank you.
Last question. Some districts have gone to 4-day school weeks. Do you support that? Why or why not?
I actually don't support that. I think that education, you need to have consistency. And when you talk to, and I know Post Falls has gone and tried it, and Bonners Ferry has tried it. And I just think that the idle hands is, really hard for kids not to have that structure on Friday. And if they're in athletics or doing stuff and they're missing school, then there's one less, so they miss a Thursday. Now they're only having 3 days of education. And so I really think that the 5 days of education is by far the better way to go. I think the kids need the time in the classroom. I think the teachers need the time to work with the students and the children that are there. So it would be way down on my list of options to go to, trying a lot of other things. I'm all about trust and transparency and making sure that we're getting the best bang for the dollar and that we're spending the money from our taxpayers as best as possible. But I think we'd do a lot of other things before we went to a 4-day school week just because of the disservice it does to the students.
Okay, thank you. And now you have a minute to give your closing statement.
Yeah, I am pro kids. I want to try to help. I have a track record. I've done a lot of boards. I've been in a lot of leadership positions where I've made it about the kids. I've ran sports organizations. I've ran education foundations. I helped Inovia with the launch money. And I just want to be there for the kids, all kids in our community. I just really feel that I know the community. I try to be involved as much as I can so that I could utilize those ties and that networking to help raise the next generation of folks like my daughter and my granddaughter who's moving back to town. I want them to have the same opportunities to be able to live in our community and to love what they're doing, work with good people. And I'm just going to try my best to represent the students, the staff, and our community, if they put the trust in me on November 4th.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Joint Public Policy Committee representing the Coeur d'Alene Regional, Hayden, Post Falls, and Rathdrum Chambers of Commerce, in partnership with the Hagedon Media Group, the Coeur d'Alene Post Falls Press, Lindsay, Tyrell, Javis, Hilo, and I want to thank all of the candidates for taking part in this year's Meet the Candidate series. We also extend our thanks to the production teams at Quicksilver Studios, Hagedon Media Group, and the Coeur d'Alene Press. And of course to you, the voters, for watching and learning about the individuals who wish to serve our community. Over the 2 evenings, we've listened to those who aim to lead and represent our cities and schools. And because voting is one of the most powerful rights and responsibilities we share as Americans, we encourage everyone to stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, exercise your right to vote.